Hey everybody, welcome back to Tech Odyssey. So it's not often I do any of these videos, and I'm rather excited about this one. It's the Pixel 3a XL. It's my month follow-up. It's actually a few days over a month. So if you want the too long didn't read version, I love this phone. It's fantastic. It's 479 bucks. You're not going to find anything within $200 of it on either side that's going to make you enjoy your phone as much, and it's not going to perform as well. So what we're talking about here, just for a brief refresher, 64 gigs of storage. It's got a 6-inch OLED panel, 1080p. I think it's like 402 pixels per inch. If I remember, there's so much stuff to do for memory here. So got the OLED, 76.3% screen to body ratio. It's got the fingerprint sensor on the back. It's got the 3.5mm headphone jack. It's got the Qualcomm Snapdragon 670, which is a fantastic processor, 4 gigabytes of RAM, and has a 12 megapixel camera on the rear, the 8 megapixel on the front. So that's it. No more specs. Let me make sure I told you that right. It's also got the Dragon Trail glass, and surprisingly, I haven't really cared because I do have a liquid glass screen protector on here from a company called Red Zombie, and this is not a plug for them. I just want to let you know there were only so many screen protectors that were available when it first came out, and they sent me one to review. So I'm like, hey, let me go ahead and apply it on here. I've been using it for a month now, and of course, you're not going to be able to see on the video here, but there we go. That's a good angle. There are 0 scratches on this sucker, and I've been carrying it in my pocket. I've been taking it to work. I've been using it every single day with the SIM card in it since the day that I bought it. And the Dragon Trail glass with the liquid glass screen protector is held up like a champ. So I do firmly recommend that. It is supposed to wear off over time. I'll probably reapply around month 3. But it's really nice having the natural glass experience as opposed to having the glass screen protector or the film style one. So there you go. But overall, I'm absolutely enjoying and loving this phone. Now, I did have the Pixel 3 XL when it first came out, and I liked it except for the gigantic notch. I didn't like the stereo speakers that it had, which were very boomy. The battery life wasn't all that great, and I kind of really didn't appreciate the fact that it had 4 gigabytes of RAM because it was like $899. It was a flagship phone where in the year that 6 to 8 gigabytes was standard. So I don't have those hangups with this one because I paid 479 bucks for it. Actually, I traded in a Google Pixel and I got this sucker. I think I paid like 70 or 80 bucks for it. So I got a great deal through T-Mobile. Either way, if you're interested in picking one up, if you've been on the fence, if you're worried about how well it holds up, if you're worried about the software issues, if you're worried about it being made out of plastic, i.e. polycarbonate, fret not because it's very durable. I've got this Spec Presidio grip case on it, and yeah, I'm absolutely in love with this phone. I could not give it a higher mark at this price point if it were even possible. Now, some people have hangups over the lack of wireless charging. They have hangups over the lack of Gorilla Glass. They have hangups over the fact that it's not made out of metal. They have hangups over the fact that it doesn't have IP67 or 68 dust and water resistance. And I say to all those things, you really don't need them. Up until the other day, I had never even taken my phone within 6 inches of a body of water just because it's expensive. It's premium. I don't want to mess it up. Even if it does have IP67 or 68, I have concerns about chemical residue from the pool or salt residue or mineral deposits from getting in the ocean, salt water, or a lake. So I really subscribe to the old school theory of electronics that just not go in the water. If you do want to take it in the water, they have cases and things that you can put them in. But overall, why pay extra for things that really don't enhance the performance of the phone? And it has quick charge, it has power delivery 2.0. You've got everything you could possibly need to get it recharged, and you got a 3700 milliamp battery on a power efficient Snapdragon 670. It works really well. It does what it's supposed to. It gets me all the way through the day, and there's really no noticeable difference in performance drop off versus my S10 Plus that I also carry around. So I carry around an S10 Plus, and I carry around my Axle, my Pixel 3a XL. And I lean towards this one because I didn't have to pay $1,000 for it. And you still essentially get a flagship level performance. If you're just doing nominal gaming, if you're just using it for pretty much anything other than just intensive wanting to watch 4K video, which you can't do because it's a modified 1080p screen, a normal person, even an advanced user, is really not going to notice any difference. There's not really lag time. I have had a little bit of hiccups with some of the software stuff just because I'm running the latest and greatest Android Q Beta 3 and then Q Beta 4. I'm just interested in enjoying checking out the features, but having a streamlined baseline operating system with nothing else on there, it's bare bones, it's Google, it's straight pipe, straight from the Google people. There's not much more that you can ask for. And if you want to get the Pixel 3a, which people have been raving about as well, it's only $399, and you can still get some carrier incentive some places, or you get the Best Buy incentive. You activate it, you get $100 off, all that good stuff. So there are a lot of reasons, compelling reasons, for this phone, uh, especially at the price point and for the feature set that you're getting. So this is not an ode to Pixel 3a XL. I mean, I'm comparing this and telling you I've been using an S10 Plus. I've used the LG G8 lately. I used the OnePlus 7 Pro, which I absolutely love, by the way. Fantastic phone. If you're on the fence and you want to get one, this one has some of the same hangups. So you don't get the wireless charging, you don't get the IP68 dust and water resistance, but you get that 90 hertz refresh rate, which is beautiful. The gigantic screen and the Snapdragon 855, all the amazing stuff. So yeah, I think that it was really good that both of these phones came along when they did, because the alternative is we're looking at $1,000, $1,100, $1,200 phones, and really all that kind of differentiates them in most areas is just some of these fringe features that some people don't even necessarily need or care about. I would gladly pay $400, $500, $600 for a phone that doesn't have wireless charging, that doesn't have dust and water resistance, and that doesn't have a 4K screen necessarily, if I'm going to get the value and the quality, and then of course the amazing Pixel camera. I would have talked about this sooner, but everybody knows about the Pixel camera. It's amazing. That's why people gravitate towards the Pixels. Other than the stock operating experience from Android, you want the camera. You get night shot, you get HDR plus, you get all the wonderful things, or HD. Can't remember if it's HDR plus, but you get HDR. Takes great pictures. It is a little slower on the image processing, just because it doesn't have the Snapdragon 845 that the Pixel 3 XL does, but it takes great shots. I'll go ahead and throw some of these in here so you can see some of the pictures that I've taken out and about and walking. But overall, $479 can't be beat. And a month later, I'm still loving this phone just as much as day one. So here, let me go ahead and throw some pictures up here so you can take a look at it, just so you can see the level of image quality. It doesn't light yellow lights as much as it does white light. I did notice that, but overall, super cool. So let's look at some pictures. All right, so here's an illustration of some of the pictures that I took with the 3A XL. So I went and did some walking around during a nice sunshiny day in downtown Houston. Took lots and lots of pictures, variable lighting, different images, and you can see the color saturation is spot on. These are all in HDR. They do take about probably about a second and a half to process, depending on the light and the image quality. But overall, highly impressed with the camera, especially for only being $479. I mean, this one looks like a portrait there with the blue sky and the white clouds, and then there's some more ominous clouds because it was going to rain the other day. Now here's an illustration of the yellow lighting. I mean, it still picks up detail fine, but it doesn't really pop out as much as I would like for it to do. A little dark, but amazing, especially in natural light settings. I didn't get any of the low light photos just because I wasn't out taking any then, but I thought this would be a good illustration to really show off some of the capabilities that this phone has, especially talking about the $479 or $399 price point. I really don't think you could ask for much more. It looks really good. So as you can see, absolutely phenomenal photo quality, which is what everybody expects whenever they talk about the Pixel 3 series phones or the 3A series phones. Really, you're not going to find anything that's going to compete with this in the $400 to $600 bracket. I mean, this is the competition with itself. There was the Pixel 3 and the 3 XL, and then they took it down a notch. You got the Pixel 3A and the 3A XL. So you get the same level of photo quality. It does take a little bit longer to process, especially in HDR mode. But what you can see from the pictures that I took, absolutely amazing photo quality. The colors pop out. They look natural. And really, it's just overall beautiful pictures. I'm a big fan, not only just because of the performance. It works really well with that Snapdragon 670, the 4 gigabytes of RAM. It doesn't slow down. You get the latest and greatest Android Q betas if you want to participate in the beta program. And 3700 milliamp battery combined with all of that. And the OLED panel works all day, works all night. The pictures it takes are great. And yeah, you can't ask for more. So in a world where we have $1,000, $1,200 flagship, this is a sensible ship phone that offers a lot of the same skill set to a lot of people who don't want to spend that kind of money, and you still get an amazing camera experience, which is a lot of the reasons why people pay that price for phones anyway. So super good, absolutely love it. Keeping this one around for a while, and I don't think you're going to find anything better at the $399 to $479 price point. So there's my month follow up. Hopefully you enjoyed this. Hopefully it was helpful, and if you like the pictures, hopefully it helped out with trying to see what some of the features and the skill sets that this phone has to offer are. So thanks for tuning in, guys. If you like the video, give it a like, subscribe, a thumbs up, hit the little notification bell so you can get the latest and greatest. I appreciate it as always, and I'll see you guys next time.